Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a story that honestly sounds like something out of a movie. It's a wild ride that mixes a bizarre dream, a huge newspaper blunder, and a phenomenon that, well, just defies any easy explanation. This is one of those cases where reality is way, way stranger than fiction.
So let's set the scene. It's Boston, August 1883. We've got a reporter for the Boston Globe, a guy named Samson. And he is completely wiped out, just exhausted after working nonstop. He's about to get some sleep, a night of sleep that he will absolutely never forget.
So Samson, after days of this grueling work, just crashes. He falls into a deep sleep right there in his office. But this is anything but a peaceful rest. What he experiences is this horrifyingly vivid vision of a catastrophe, like on a global scale.
And it all happens so fast. We're talking about a span of just a few hours. But this tight little timeline is about to kick off a chain of events that nobody, especially not Samson or his editor, could have ever seen coming.
And just check out the level of detail here. This was not some vague, fuzzy nightmare. No way. He saw a burning mountain, a volcano literally exploding, and he even heard a super specific, unforgettable name, Krakatoa.
So, completely shaken by this incredibly real dream, Samson does what any writer would do, right? He writes it all down, every single disastrous detail. He leaves the notes on his desk, and that is exactly when a simple little mistake turns his private nightmare into a very, very public spectacle.
And what happened next? Well, it was total chaos. The editor finds these notes, sees the tag important, and thinks he's got the scoop of a lifetime, so he rushes it to print. The fallout was immediate. Phones ringing off the hook, no other news agency confirming the story, and finally, a hugely embarrassing public apology from the Boston Globe.
Okay, but this is where the story just takes an unbelievable turn. Weeks go by, the whole blunder is old news, but then reports start to slowly trickle in from the other side of the planet. And they confirm the unthinkable. The volcano on the island of Krakatoa had in fact erupted with catastrophic force right around the time Samson had dreamed it.
So this is the central mystery, isn't it? I mean, how is that even possible? It seems like a 1 in a billion coincidence, but it happened. So how do we even begin to wrap our heads around an explanation for something like this?
All right, let's really dive into this. The source material we're looking at doesn't just leave us hanging with this mystery, it actually offers this fascinating, centuries-old theory from yogic philosophy to explain stuff just like Samson's dream.
So the source introduces this concept called the Sushumna Nadi. Probably the easiest way to think about it is like a kind of internal cosmic antenna. It's this channel of information that's not available through our 5 senses, but it's one that our deeper mind can supposedly tune into when all the noise of the world gets shut out.
So how in the world is this antenna supposed to work? Well, according to the theory, this isn't just some vague, mystical idea. There's actually a specific process that might explain how our minds can tap into this hidden channel.
So the core idea here is this really fascinating contrast between 2 states of mind. During deep sleep, our conscious mind, the part that's dealing with sight and sound and all our daily thoughts, it becomes, as the source says, practically dead. And this quiet allows the unconscious mind to drift toward that internal channel, the Sushumna Nadi, and tune into a completely different broadcast of information.
So this theory lays out a pretty clear, step-by-step path. It all starts with deep sleep, which quiets the conscious mind. This then lets the unconscious mind access the channel and link up with this cosmic information. And that final step? That's what we call precognition, the ability to see things that are far away in space, or even in time. Just like Samson's dream.
And get this, this isn't some isolated idea that came out of nowhere. Other thinkers throughout history, like the famous scholar Paracelsus, they describe similar concepts. The idea that if the mind is pure and focused inward, it can connect with the subtle workings of the entire cosmos.
So, after all this, what's the big takeaway from Samson's incredible story and this ancient theory? Really, it's all about the hidden, untapped potential of the human mind. It suggests that there's a whole lot more going on when we're asleep than we currently understand.
So when we start connecting the dots, a really fascinating possibility emerges. Samson's dream suggests that deep sleep might be more than just rest. It could actually be a state of heightened perception.
And this ancient theory of the Sushumna Nadi gives us a potential mechanism for how that could work, a conduit for information that goes way beyond our five senses, leaving the true potential of our unconscious mind as this vast, unexplored frontier.
And that leaves us with this final, kind of mind-bending thought. If one person's mind could accurately witness a volcanic eruption from halfway across the world while they were dreaming, what other incredible, untapped potential is just lying dormant inside our own consciousness, waiting for the right moment to be discovered?